Now, let us proceed to the closing keynote presentation. We are honored to have invited Dr. Albert Chau, the Vice President, Teaching and Learning, Hong Kong Baptist University, to share his views and visions on aspirations and challenges in the use of technology in liberal arts education. The case of Hong Kong Baptist University. Dr. Eva Wong, Director, Center for Holistic Teaching and Learning, Hong Kong Baptist University, will be the facilitator of this section. Dr. Wong, please.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We come to the final session. Wow, at last, right? I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Now, Albert gave me a hard task. He said, introduce him in 1 minute. Now, even an elevator's pitch is 3 minutes. Come on. How can I actually introduce such a brilliant person in 1 minute? So I said, no, this is impossible. But I don't know him for 30 years like he did with Professor Ching, so I won't have that much to say. But on the other hand, he can actually roll it off his tongue because he knew Professor Ching for so long. We actually known each other more than 30 months, I would say. Yes, we actually met at the time when the education system is to change from the 3-year to the 4-year, and we were involved in a group of colleagues who actually are somehow responsible to help our institution make the change. We were at different institutions at the time. Neither of us were at HKBU, but he was already very well known at that time as somebody who is very passionate about students, about how they learn, particularly not just in the classroom, because to Albert, learning is a continuum. So when they're outside the classroom, in the hall, and when they go on exchange, all those are learning. And it's actually very well known by that time. It was lucky for me that we were friends, right? Because you never know, a few years later, becoming a boss, for goodness sake. So, I mean, if we were fighting at that time, after all, there were resources involved. So, I mean, but we didn't fight, right? We were good. But I think, so just to give you a little bit of background about him, he was a graduate of Hong Kong University, the University of Hong Kong, industrial engineering, and then he actually moved to the US and did psychology in University of Wisconsin Medicine. And then he's worked in Hong Kong U for a long time, making a lot of changes. So we were very, very lucky. I think we were very lucky to have him join us 2 years ago. Not less than 2 years, not quite 2 years ago. And within that 18 months or so, he actually made a lot of significant changes. Now, he would be too modest to admit that, but remember the ISP, the Institutional Plan 2018 to 28, I sort of showed you best student learning experience. I think he is actually instrumental in making that the #1 priority in our strategic plan. And within the 18 months, our campus have changed with a lot more international students from all over the world, from Kazakhstan, India, Malaysia, Taiwan. Everybody who is here, we have an exchange. We have not just exchange, full-time students studying for 4 years at our campus, with Albert working with our academic registrar and the international office. And what else? Oh, completely overhaul the GE curriculum and put in service learning as a central piece so that our student will benefit from this experiential learning. So without further ado, I'll pass the mic to Albert. Please help me welcome him.
Well, good morning, colleagues. I'm very thankful to Eva's introduction, but I got a hidden message. Albert, you have brought too much work to us. Okay, but I'm always thankful to my colleagues at BU because they are very dedicated. Yesterday, one of our students said she was quite surprised that to learn that professors indeed care about their learning. Well, that means we still have a long way to do, a long way to go, okay, to convey what we want to accomplish together with the students in their university education. Now, Professor Ching said that yesterday he said he was sort of a rather disobedient person. Being his mentee, I managed to double or triple his disobedience. Okay, today, not only that, I don't really stick to the topic assigned to me. Actually, I'm not going to stick to my time either. Okay, so I have worked out with Wai Ching and Kelvin, okay, to reorganize the last 1.5 hours of the conference a little bit, okay, because time is too precious for you just to listen to me, okay? And after all, within the last 3 days, we always say we don't want to have one-way traffic. We want more dialogue. We want more conversation. We want more co-creation and collaboration, okay? So I'm going to spend about 25, 30 minutes on my promotional talk about BU. Okay, not quite that, okay? And then Kelvin is going to do real stuff. He's going to share some of the concepts, some of the possible future actions that we can take together, okay? And then after that, Wai Ching, Kelvin, and I will sort of try to moderate a little bit, and then hopefully we can work out some of the possible actions following the conference. Okay, I understand that in the last 2 days, which I skipped, I was very well known for skipping classes when I was a student. So I skipped a lot of classes in the last 2 days. But I understand that there were a lot of very fruitful discussions going on. Okay, pond to pond, say one university talk to the other university, and then possible collaboration. But I would like to take the dots, okay, the lines, okay, and get them into a network, okay, a plane, and then with the time, we can actually add the 3 dimension, okay? So I hope we can develop from a point to a line, to a plane, to a cube, or something like that, okay, in the last 30, 40 minutes or so. Okay, now then my advertisement. Okay, my colleague, Mr. C.K. Young, who is our Associate Vice President of Engagement, is here. So this is for me, class observation. Okay, he is going to rate me, okay, on how well I tell people about our university. I guess I should have done this on the first day, but we went to UGC to get money, okay, from the university funding body. So we do have to worry about funding, not like Ning Nan, okay. Baptist, you have to worry about funding, okay. So we are one of the 8 public universities. We were established about 60 years ago, 11,000 students, 7,000 undergraduates. Arts, science, communication, visual arts, Chinese medicine, business are the bureaucratic faculties and schools, okay? But we are trying to break down the walls separating disciplines, because we do believe that everything is related to everything else, okay? So interdisciplinarity is very important. And then we are working on, I'll say a little bit more on the research clusters that we are embarking on. So since day one, Baptist University has been very committed to whole person education. Okay, so these are the 7 graduate attributes we have. The whole person education is operationalized or is embodied, okay, in these 7 graduate attributes: citizenship, learning, creativity, communication, knowledge, skills, and teamwork. Students memorize them by heart. I cannot do it, sorry. But even worse, the 7 graduate attributes are actually broken down into, say, how many are these? 15 or 16, whatever, okay, components, okay? So you can see that it covers a wide range of abilities, from academic knowledge all the way to the generic skills that we have been talking about all these days. Eva talked about our institutional strategic plan. And that plan was actually contemplated by a lot of colleagues over the last 1.5 years or 2 years. And we tried to chart out, okay, what the university has to do and how we prepare our students for the future. Or yesterday, our colleague from Vietnam, okay, actually reminded that we should say how to facilitate our students to create the future. I think that is more important, and that is better, much better. But when we look at that, we were saying we know it is a technology-driven economy. We know it is creativity-driven. Jobs will disappear. A few days ago, I was in China, and then a vice president of the University of Liverpool actually warned the accountants and the lawyers in the audience that, well, guys, watch out, your jobs are disappearing. Okay, a lot of, it's not just about labor work. It is not just about drivers. Okay, it is not just about cashier in supermarkets. Okay, professionals have to watch out. And I read the book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, and it was very, very comforting for me. When I look at the table, they show what occupations are most endangered. Okay, and psychologist was not endangered at all. That means for jobs that will require human touch, that will require creativity, that will require the ability to conceptualize and pull things together, you are better off, okay, in this revolution. All right, so, and then Professor Ching talked about the shift of balance in power, clash of global thoughts, religious thoughts, different political thoughts and all that, security challenges. Of course, we are also very mindful of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals of the UN, which they publicized about 3 years ago. Okay, so we are working on that. So this is our strategic plan. This is a picture taken from a Lion Rock. Our university, I believe, is somewhere here, behind the rock, okay? But it was taken by our student. The student is a biology student, year 4. When he took these pictures, he had no experience in photography. He told me after his public examination, we have a public examination after 6 years of secondary school. And then students have a very long break, okay, before they come to the university. He didn't have anything to do. So he decided to use his mobile phone to take pictures. And then that's how he got into it. And he won the National Geographic under 21 or under 18 a global award, okay, for photography. And then after that, he got invitations from the Hong Kong Tourism Board, the German Tourism Board, and then someone from the States to take pictures to promote their cities or countries, okay? And then he published a book, okay? My goodness, this is how creative our students can be. I still remember at one of the seminars, he spoke when he was asked, when there was a question, okay, asking if the university is to increase something, what is the thing that you would like to increase? You know his answer? Exactly. He said free time. Okay? 3 hours, okay, in the middle of the day so that they can work on something of their choice. So you understand the students very well. Okay, so in the ISP, we would like to become a research-led liberal arts university, okay? And this is our mission, which has been there for a very, very long time. We would like to build our future upon our heritage of Christian higher education. Okay, so we care, we dare, we create, and we go global. So these are the gist of the strategic plan. Strategy 1, as Eva said, somehow we managed to put it the best student experience as the first one. I don't know if it is the top one. It is just the first one, okay? So numerical order number 1, okay? I don't know what it is. I pretend it is, okay? Now, so we would like to nurture graduates who are creative, caring, and ethical. And then they can contribute not only to Hong Kong, to the region, but indeed the world. Cluster 2 or Strategy 2, research excellence. 3 areas: creative media, health and drug discovery, and then data analytics and artificial intelligence in X. X means application. Okay, in health, in journalism, in creative industries and all that. In education. And to make it possible, Strategy 3, we are recruiting 100 faculty members. Okay, don't worry about we are luring away your outstanding faculty members. But if you do have outstanding graduate students, postdoctoral fellows, please, okay, ask them to consider coming to Baptist University. All right? So in the next few years, we are recruiting 100 faculty members worldwide. So coming back to the first strategy, best student learner experience. These are the things we would like to do: creativity, communication, employability. So these are the attributes we would like to cultivate among our graduates. We are working in 4 directions: cross-cultural learning experiences, innovative pedagogy and curriculum, service learning, experiential learning, inclusion, and diversity in our admission policy. Of course, well, we have the based on the human capital, our existing staff strengths and the additional ones from the Talent 100 scheme. So cross-cultural experiences, overseas learning experience, and more importantly, we believe internationalization at home, because our students spend more time here on the campus than going away, okay? I was jokingly saying that this is our target. We love our students so much that we want to send all of them away. Okay. we love them so much, so we send all of them away. Okay. So 100% outbound in about 5 years. Okay. But my president keeps shortening that deadline. Originally, it was about 10, and then he said, well, 5, and then 3, and then next year. Well, but anyway, our plan is to send everyone out for a meaningful period of time, preferably 2 times, one in the mainland, one overseas, okay? Internationalization at home, we would like to increase our degree-seeking international students to about 12%. At the moment, we are quite low. We are about 1.some%. Okay, so in about 5, 6 years, we would like to increase it to 12%. 10% inbound exchange students, and then we have to do a lot on the campus environment, the internationalization of the curriculum, I'm sorry for the mistake, and then multicultural classroom. Now, so service learning for every willing student. We don't force people to serve, okay? But we would like to inspire, okay? We would like to convince implicitly that all students will become willing students by 2023. And then they will have a chance to do service learning. Creativity, entrepreneurship. As we speak, next door, well, we are starting a boot camp, this year's boot camp with UC Berkeley. Okay, UC Berkeley comes to our campus to deliver a boot camp, and then our students go to Berkeley. And this year, not only BU students and Berkeley students, we also have students from Oxford and some other Chinese universities to come. Okay, 80 some of them, creativity, innovation. So by 2023, every student would have an opportunity to do that. How do we use technology to facilitate that? I wish I knew, but I have to make this report. So I put together some of the things that we are working on and some of the difficulties that we are facing, I believe which are quite common. For number 1, we hope to cultivate technological competency among all students, not just science, not just computer science, not just STEM subjects, okay, but all students. So we would like them to have the ability to use technology to solve problems and to develop themselves. For instance, we have an app resource center headed by a professor in music. Okay, Chris, Eugenia, you know him, in music. And the project actually helps students and staff to develop mobile apps for education, for health, and for social sciences. Okay, so they have already put together a bunch of apps in music, language, chemistry, learning, medical science, so on and so forth. And how to write an A+ paper. Okay, that's an app. Okay, then economics. So students actually have assistance from them, okay? And they have a working space so that students can work it out together. Tech plus X, okay? Technology in subject areas. Data, for example, data and journalism. These are projects completed by our students. Okay, final year project just 2 weeks ago. Okay, I watched them online. Okay, so instead of writing a paper, they created a website, put videos up, and then use visualization methods to present the data. For example, the first one, there is one about the shark fins. I guess after watching that video or reading the website, you probably no longer want to have another bowl of shark fin in your dinner. Okay, digital humanities, okay, fintech, and then health. For example, our School of Chinese Medicine has a database of traditional Chinese herbal medicine. And we are using big data to collect health information about people in Hong Kong. Our target is 1 million in the next 5 years. And we have to do it because we got a rather handsome donation from the Hong Kong Jockey Club for that project. Okay? So, third one, we use technology to support our pedagogical methods. For instance, we recently developed a e-learning standards within a university. So we focus on e-learning as a tool for dissemination of information, repository of learning and teaching resources, learning engagement, how to get students to interact, how to get students to work with other students in other countries, okay? Assessment and feedback, I'll come back to this point later. Development of teaching portfolio for our colleagues. And then for each use, we have sort of a basic use, okay? You have to do this. This is the basic, the minimum thing that you have to do. And then we have a recipe for the advanced users, okay? For the people who are technology savvy, okay? And then we also look at how to facilitate active learning among our students. Recently, we are developing a bunch of blended learning courses and an online platform for co-creation. That is also related to our cross-cultural learning experience. We signed an agreement with Future Learn. Some of you may know about it. It is a UK-based learning platform. So we have about 10 courses, okay, in which a colleague from BU jointly teaches the course with a colleague from an overseas institution. And students would use the flipped classroom way to learn, and they work on projects together with their counterparts in our overseas partner. So Future Learn is the platform we are using. So that is also for student interaction and co-creation, Google Classroom and all that. And then support. For example, when we send our students out, we give them self-learning materials to prepare themselves. And the other day I was discussing with a bunch of a few students from our School of Communication on how to develop chatbots. Because we just cannot be that responsive. Our students are all over the world. They may run into problems. Okay, they may be injured, they may run into an accident. It could be as big as a terrorist attack, a natural disaster and all that. We would like them to be able to get immediate help through a chatbot. We use technology to facilitate co-creation. This is a space that we are building. This is what you see currently. You walk by it in the last 2 days. We plan to turn it into a co-working space like that with a number of features. This is a big business center, all right? So this will be the design. Okay, this is a quiet area. This is a daydreaming wall, idea jamming area, idea showcase and all that. Okay, so we are creating that space so that students can actually go inside and work out their ideas together. We use technology to facilitate learning analytics. This is a system that we are building. Okay, this part is done before my time. It was very efficient thanks to our IT director, Ms. Jennifer Lau, and her colleagues. We are working on this side. Okay, we will document, we will collect all the data, and then eventually, hopefully, we can correlate students' learning outcomes here, okay, with their experiences. Whether or not they stay in a hall, whether or not they have gone to exchange and all that. Okay, so this is a dashboard that we are developing. So we also think that as a liberal arts university, we have unique contributions to make in a technology-driven economy. digital humanities, ethics and moral dilemmas, building cultural capital among our students. Cultural capital means, refers to the personal asset. You understand different cultures, your taste, your ability to appreciate arts and all that. And that is very important for a person to be successful in future. Building human capitals, share future of humankind. We have so many technology problems, okay, which confront all humankind, transcending geographical and political boundaries, okay? And then the future of the society. If you read books about technology or technological advancement, more than likely you get a chapter to discuss how far our legal system and social systems lag behind the development of technology. And I think as a liberal arts university, we have a lot to contribute on how to shape that future, create the future, and set the agenda. I think we have a role in that, okay? Of course, we have many, many difficulties. Yesterday, I said, well, I don't even understand the process, how contextual learning, how innovation and creativity can be cultivated. We have yet to find new models of education, I believe, okay? This kind of one-to-one lecture probably cannot do it. Assessment is difficult. Earlier on, Eugenia talked about how assessment can drive learning. It is not new to us. Even professors, okay? We schedule our time, we publish if our performance appraisal criterion is research. Okay, we teach better if we say teaching and learning is the most important assessment in your promotion, in personal decisions. So these days, shall we assess what people can do in the future rather than they already know? Our assessment up to date is still assessment of achievement and existing knowledge. Okay, we have to do something. How to celebrate failures, I have a lot of them, okay? But how we help our students to learn from their failure. Recently I attended a presentation by the president of the International Technology University in the States. That university is actually situated in Silicon Valley. And he said, well, he would like his students, each one of them, to graduate with a failure, because that is very important for entrepreneurship. And of course, the student has to learn, has to, well, scaffold his or her experiences from that failure, okay? So these days, we are still celebrating, we are still assessing on achievement, not failure, all right, sorry. We emphasize on the process that this is coupled with the failure. How we assess, or do we really want to assess generic competencies? How do we assess teamwork? Okay, we have to figure out how to use qualitative data and digital footprints. That was touched on too. We heavily, when I talk about learning analytics, we heavily rely on quantities, numbers. But how can we extract the very rich information in students' reflective journals? How we say, as they go through Moodle, as they go through Future Learn, how we get information about their learning processes through their digital footprints. These are challenges. How we transform the educational system and how we transform ourselves, of course. All right. So this is another award-winning picture of our students, okay? We are these people pushing, rushing, and then hopefully we can do something good in future. So this is my presentation. So let's do it together. I don't have all the answers, but Kelvin is going to come up to give us the answers, right?